Yo, what's up, guys? It's been a little bit of time, but people have been asking, say, are you still playing Etheria Restart? The answer is yes. Yes, I am still playing Etheria Restart. But as of currently, not too much is going on because we do know that the Blessing Galore is going to come. And when Blessing Galore comes, I tend to stack all of my stability for as much as possible. We will have the 4x times that we can actually use them, so I can use that all. But let me talk about why I haven't been making that much content, what I'm planning to do for content in the future, what I'm planning to do with my account, what I've been doing with my account thus far, and all of that kind of good stuff. So first of all, let's first start off with what have I been doing. So what I've been doing is mainly farm a lot of shells. And I farmed an insane amount of shells on pretty much every shell dungeon that I haven't farmed yet, just to stack out a little bit of everything. Before I was thinking about, I'm going to do a lot of Aurora. I did do a lot of Aurora in the last 2x to get a lot of Bloodbath. But I noticed I really don't like the playstyle that much. Like, I even went like full on Holden for like it's 554 right now. And I start playing him a little bit in RTA, and I was like, I'm just not really enjoying this playstyle at all. Like, the matches are way too long. I'm not really liking that. Miles did make her on A555. Do really enjoy her, actually. But I was just simply like, I'm not really enjoying that much. So I was actually getting more enjoyment out of either arena, which I've been doing a fair bit. And yeah, for some reason, if you are the rank 1, you're getting found on defense an insane amount of time. And then, yeah, this is what your history list looks like. Like, even right now, 20 minutes, 27 minutes, 40 minutes, 43, 45, 45, 46, 52 hours. Like, it just keeps stacking up. Like, it's an insane amount, and it just keeps going on. My defense, for the people that are asking, it's this. So it's not Revelation. It's just a lot of speeds, a lot of CC, a lot of chip damage, and all of that kind of good stuff. And it kind of works. So yeah, I've been doing that a fair bit. I've been liking that. I got some good speed pieces, and I don't really mind to show that. Like, my Freya's on like a 2-2 with Bloodbath, or not Bloodbath, with Bulwark. So that's a pretty decent fast one. So I've been working more towards like either arena, that kind of stuff. Last week, I did not manage to get like a super high rank. There were still a few people outspeeding me. And I think in the end, you probably still need like a proper defense. Otherwise, everyone that can outspeed you will outspeed you and then clap you down very hard. Did notice that in the last week. Can you see it from last week? Yeah, this was my amount of point, and it was like rank 7-ish or something like that. So it was not like the super high rank out there. But yeah, it's kind of funny to do. What I did also see, which I might go for like a slight shift in my playstyle and also the units that I'm focusing on, is that I noticed for the Summit Arena that there's a few more people adding in with more of a CC playstyle and getting pretty far. Like, sure, wow, we have some people like crazy far up, way higher than last season, I guess. But we see a little bit more of playstyle where there is like Yunjo's rank 10 again, like the playstyle. We see Jin, playstyle that I would like to play myself. We see over here Arconic, which is the guy that's mostly farming my ass in normal arena. So I know he's pretty darn fast as well, but it's also a playstyle that I would like to adapt to myself. So there's more and more people getting kind of into playstyle where you don't have to be spamming the food shows, the Tiamats, the Holdens, and all of that kind of annoying shit. So that is actually a playstyle that I find myself a lot more enjoyable. And that's also a playstyle that I do want to utilize a little bit more. And therefore, my future plan will be farming more Doki, going more into speed gear, going more into that kind of stuff. For that reason, I will also probably have to lattice a few units which are more speed-orientated / semi-speedy, semi-bruiser, also the counter picks. I'm sitting currently on, how many do I have? 6 lattices. Do have a fair bit of these as well. Still have to do a lot of these, but kind of because I'm not really sure which route I'm going right now and which units will be according to that, I'm kind of waiting. But I do have a few options in mind already. It's not necessarily that I'm waiting for a new unit. I'm kind of waiting for maybe a mid-season balance patch, which they have been hinting towards and asking a lot of feedback for the millionth time, and then still getting the same feedback as like a month ago. But we'll see what they do with that. But to be honest, units that I would definitely see myself adding to my pile is Veronica. I think Veronica is a really strong unit at the moment, which would need a fair bit of investment because you definitely want to have the speed in there. This thing is best if it's maxed as well, and you can really use the accuracy so you can focus fully on HP. And you kind of want to have the cooldown on this as well. So we're looking at a 4-5-5 for her if I want to go her all out. Hellkit is a pretty good unit as well for Revelation, so I would have to max his S3 then for sure. Rest is not that much of a must, but it helps out a little bit. So I think that Veronica and Hellkit are high on my list right now that I would like to do lattices in. Veronica's most likely going to be the first out of those. Mia is also a good option if I want to go Revelation, because in the end she does have a strip as well. But if I want to go proper on her, I would need skill 1 for sure, and I would need this one at least until this point. So those are kind of things. How much is her cooldown normally? It's a 5, so okay, it becomes a 4, so that's not useful in the first place anyways. So yeah, she would need like a 4-3 to be good. Maybe even one more for the accuracy, but that's kind of optional. So yeah, there's a few units that I would like to invest in, but I would need a fair bit more lattices out there to actually make that work. And I'm kind of just waiting for either a balance patch to happen and see what it does to the units. We do also have the Chinese launch coming soon. So currently, as of recording, it's the 27th. This is coming on the 28th, which is like a paid beta, which we also had before the launch. And apparently the launch is going to be next month, somewhere on the 25th or so. I'm not exactly sure about that. That's just what I heard somewhere, but that's not what I know for sure. So you can see over here, you can see a few dates. The moment I put that towards Google Translate, it kind of messes up the whole thing, but it's a little bit easy to read, where you can see it's like, oh, the 28th until 8th of September. You're going to have like the paid beta, and then they probably have some downtime, and then like next month, like end of next month, they will have the real release. So that will be interesting to see if that changes anything. A lot of people have been speculating, saying, kind of understanding, feeling that we are still in beta and the Chinese launch is the actual launch of the game, which is an interesting thought process. I'm not sure if that's necessarily true or not, but it's going to be curious to see what they will have. I did see another content creator also showcase something where they don't have a Messiah banner first, they will have a Yelly banner first, which technically I think for progression is a lot better and makes things a lot easier, because in the end, Messiah doesn't really fix your PvE issues as much as a Yelly would do. Yelly fixes a lot of your PvE issues. So that will be a good start for them for sure. So let's hope that the game will be more enjoyable for them. Therefore, they put more motivation, effort into the game, and therefore the game growth. Because in the end, I think in the core base, this game is still really good. It's just having too many small issues that always overshine the good things that are actually put in the game. Like, for example, having all of those loadouts in the individual dungeons and stuff is super freaking nice. But since it was overshadowed by just messing up the GVG or messing up something else, it's just kind of overshadowing where it just all gets like to shit, right? So that's kind of the big issue right now. So yeah, what I've been doing thus far is just making sure that I always do like the daily things, like the theater. It's nice that it is ×5 right now. Same for the world boss is pretty chill. Infinity Train, always try to get that on wave 24. Shell Story, that kind of good stuff. So I'm always doing the dailies, and I'm just waiting for the 2x to make that a 4x. And then just blast everything through. And I probably will put most of it to Doki, and I will pre-farm a little bit for, mainly for Veronica. That's my game plan. I still have a bit for this left over, but it wouldn't be enough. I think for these I could still do I could still get a bunch of those. But since I'm not really planning to use her just yet, I'm kind of waiting for that balance patch as of first. So that is that. Besides that, I cleared about all content in the game. So I did clear the Ethernet rally. Maybe I'll do a stream tomorrow on doing like Ethernet rally or something like that. I also did already clear the AnySync echoes. And I actually cleared this with a damage team. Not sure if you can still see my clear. No, since we had a patch, you get this removed. I used the exact same team as this, but I used a Rahul that was 1-1-1. So, but the only thing is I did not record that. So that's one of those things that I maybe should have recorded, because it could be interesting content for people to do. And you cannot replay this the moment that you play this. But it is possible to do this with a 1-1-1 Rahul. The moment that, or the thing that you have to mainly look at is that you don't want to go for an artisan, you want to go for a golden lion. Let's see if there's someone else that actually has like a proper golden lion. Yeah, you want to go for a golden lion with like Fury Edge, Keen Eyes, or Momentum. Momentum is probably better. And then you can actually do that with a 1-1-1. Oh, this is actually a 1-1-1. And okay, I did use a different DPS as main. I used a Lily, and I used pretty much this team and Xing you out for Freya. So that team can do it. I would highly recommend to put your Jackal Guard on this one, Jackal Guard on that one, and then Jackal Guard also on the Freya. That was my build. I still have the builds? No, I think the builds are also completely messed up. Do I still have... I still have the build on you. Yeah, this was the build I was using on him. It is better to go for a damage set in here rather than the Swift Rush. You don't really need the speed out there. But this build was able to clear it on a 1-1-1 over here with just like a 1 dupe in there. And then the Golden Lion, which was also not optimal. Rather, you have less speed and you go for more crit damage and that kind of stuff. But with that, I was able to clear it. Are the others still geared towards the same thing? No, I don't think so. Yeah, this was still the Jackal Guard. It was just speedy Jackal Guard. I did have most things at like pretty decent speeds, like 213 over there. This one was like 200-ish in total. And this one, no, that's a completely different build altogether over there. But this was also rocking a Jackal Guard, which was decent on speed. So I kind of have to give myself a little bit slap on the wrist for thinking like, hey, I could be using that for content. Let's also use that for content, because in the end, I do think that a lot of people are stuck on this one because of the stupid-ass elements. But I was able to clear it with just pretty much a very low lattice investment, because that's the main thing. You might not have a Rosa invested. You might not have a Rohul invested. You might not have a Shiada invested. The moment you don't have any of those invested, it's like, yeah, can I actually clear that? Well, the answer is yeah, but you really need a Golden Lion, and you would have to check how other people clear them. So, but yeah, that's just a little bit of sidetracking. If I could make a video on that right now, then I would, but I already cleared the content and I cannot check that anymore. So too bad on that one, but I'll keep that in mind for future things for more content. I do want to be looking out for like where is more content to be made of and that kind of stuff. Stream-wise, well, as of the moment, I'm not really doing too much RTA as of yet. I'm just doing a little bit of RTAs not to get the DK in. You do have a DK the moment you didn't play for like 7 days, so trying to kind of get those in, and most of the other stuff I focus in the Fearless Arena. Also, thing is kind of, I have my defense set up in a way which I would have to re-gear to play RTA. So now we do have like the gear split for PvP and PvE, but I still use different things in the different ones. Let me just lock in my defense and keep the exact same gear on the defense, and then I can do whatever else. Thank you. Like, that's one thing. Like, sure, we asked for the previous step, but that's actually the main step that I was asking for. Because right now, I would not be having you, I would be having you on Revelation. I wouldn't have been having you on like my absolute fastest set on this. I would have you on Revelation as well in normal RTA. So it's kind of having that issue. But since I'm having good fun with either arena, it's kind of that it makes it for Summit Arena that's slacking. So yeah, it's a little bit back and forth in that. So also let me know in the comments what kind of content would you be looking out for if you're watching videos on Etheria restarts. I definitely have noticed it with every content creator out there. The numbers have been going zoop. Same as the amount of people in the Discord channel have been going zoop. And also pretty much everything else with this game is going zoop, downhill. So let's hope that the China launch gives it a little bit of W's, gives it more motivation for people to play. Maybe get some good balance changes, anything. They've been asking for a lot of feedback for a lot of time already. They have they tried everything. They tried like, oh, high-ends making a document of getting all feedback. Oh, did not work. Let's get the CM to gather all information and make a document. Oh, did not work. We have like a threads where people can post their own thread and then give feedback on it. Okay, too much of a blah, blah, blah nonsense, one to another. And it also did not work. And now they make a forum kind of style where within the forum, you can just post something and people upvote it or downvote it, which actually is the simplest way of saying like, you like this or not, without too much blah, blah, blah. So I would say that they finally went for a thing that kind of makes sense to get feedback on, with just upvoting and downvoting, because in the end, I would say one of the best games that works by player-based feedback is RuneScape with the polls. If they implement something like that on general base, would be nice. But then again, don't do that on Discord. Make that in-game. But then again, I don't think they like to change that much in-game because, to be honest, I feel like they don't have that much development time in-game, except for the things that were already fixed before. So, but that's just my hypothetical thinking. I think the developers are already working on something else. And yeah, I don't know. But let's see how that works for in the future. I'm kind of running low on these crystals. I still haven't bought this thing yet. I'm not sure if it's already reset or it didn't reset, but I didn't buy the first double thing yet. But we'll see how fast I run out. It is mainly the thing where you get a lot of crystals are these two things. So if people are slacking, and I've seen some content creators saying things like, oh, I only refresh one thing right now a day. No, I still refresh legit everything. You just have to do all of your content. So Amber Track, Ethernet Rally, Phantom Theater, and then these two, and whatever else kind of thing is in there. If you do all of that, you can easily like refresh everything. I even refreshed a shit ton of arena tickets. I'm probably not going to do that in the future. But I had like 99 tickets, which apparently is the max in here for that kind of stuff. So yeah, I've still been busy on the game. But as of right now, what I've been doing is pretty much Phantom Theater, Shell Story, Infinite Train, and then the Union Boss. And all of that takes me about like half an hour of active play. And then I can kind of close the game again, because besides that, there's nothing to do if you're stacking stability. If I wasn't stacking stability, I was just playing for, well, playing. I was just hitting go next for another run of 10 for like 10 times or 12 times a day, because well, you get about like 12,000. Well, no, not 12,000. 1,200, 1,300-ish stability a day, especially with refilling itself, maybe even 1,400. So I was doing that like 14 times and then that. But I haven't really been doing that much of account management of actually seeing like, okay, where do I want to put my upgrades over there or anywhere? So that's kind of waiting for the balance patch. Do I want to focus on that Veronica? If I want to focus on that Veronica, I'm going to be putting pieces together, which do really fit on that Veronica. Whether that's a lighthouse, whether that's anything, I'm not too sure yet. I kind of went on the point where I started farming a lot of shells, and I kind of just kept everything that was a 3 thing that I felt like, oh, is kind of good. And then I have a lot of options like, oh, if there's a change on this, I already have a shell for that. Or if there's a change on this, oh, I already have, like, let's say I need these start to become best in slots, I already have those. Let's say I need the time weave on this. I do think, did I have a time weave on this? I think I maybe already up that, like a time weave plus swift rush on that plus the final. I already have that. In case I need something over here, I probably already have that. In case I need like one of these, I do want one more with like Swiss Smite and that. I already have that, so kind of just been farming on that. Well, I've been yapping long enough for this video. Hope you did enjoy. As mentioned before, let me know if you want to see any specific content. As mentioned, I haven't been really RTAing that much. There's a few really good guys that are like high in the leaderboards doing RTA streams right now. If you want to see more RTA streams, highly recommend to check out like Brad, Yanjo streaming these days. So definitely do check out those kind of guys. I might be joining them at some point later, but I definitely do feel like, as I've mentioned pretty much always thus far, I feel like my account is not RTA ready yet. But that's definitely a me issue. Well, the main thing is, which I have issues with RTAing right now, I don't really want to be breaking this team to go into RTA and then set it back and forth. Like, that's kind of my issue right now. But yeah, let's hope that that changes in the future. I don't know. Well, guys, thanks a lot for watching for this one, and see you as always in the next one.
Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more guides, join the Discord and check out the content tab for the guide video archive, which contains all of the guides that you might need. Hope to see you there.